welcome back to Kanji Master. We're going to try something a little bit different today. We're going to start punching in on the kanji more because I'm realizing it is quite hard to see. It's not about me, it's about the kanji. So let's give this a go. As you can see from looking at these kanji, they are all very similar shapes. They all have three different meanings, of course, though. The top one being kai, or the onyomi meaning of bai, which means shellfish. The simple shape is literally just an eye with two fins on it. I'll draw it on right here. Very simple. If you can imagine opening up like a shellfish or a clam or something like that, and inside you find an eye with these two little fins flapping around on it. And maybe that's what you see sticking out of the shell, two little fins. And you open the shell up, inside the shell is an eye. And the next one down below is the onyomi reading of in. It basically means like employee or member. It's essentially just a shellfish with a mouth on the top, the mouth shape on the top. You draw it like this, mouth, eye, legs. One way of remembering this would be that when the one-eyed, finned shellfish manages to grow a mouth, start talking, he's hired by a company, he's employed by a company, becomes a member of a company. The final one at the bottom here is buy or kao, which means to purchase or buy. It's very simple. It's very easy to remember because buy in English and buy in Japanese. It's just 1, 2, 2 fins. So again, this same sort of shape with the shellfish. And on top we have sort of a sideways eye. I mean, it's quite easy to imagine. Potentially your shellfish, because it only has one eye, goes out and buys itself a second one, maybe a fake one, a little goggle eye. If you can imagine a little goggle eye on the side of your shellfish. And that's what I went out and bought. Buy, ka from kao. And the next one. Next we have the kanji for company, firm, office, association, or shrine. Yashiro means shrine, usually Shinto, that's the kunyomi reading, and sha is the onyomi reading, like a kaisha, meaning company. To draw it is quite simple. It's just the katakana for net and soil. So if you're trying to imagine net for networking, and you network at your job or your company. So when you're networking, you're trying to sell, your specific company sells soil, and you can imagine maybe even people in business suits with their feet in soil, like squelching around, imagine the feeling. This is my company, I sell soil. I'm at a networking event, and at the networking event instead of carpet, there's like soil, everyone's squelching around. Really fix that in your mind. I'll quickly draw as well to help you remember. Kai, you know before, for meeting. Kai, sha, oops. Try that one more time. Kai, sha. And the kanji we just learned, member, in. Kaisha in meaning company, employee. And there we go, on to the next one. As you can see, this next kanji has a lot of readings, and you are very likely to see this all over the place. It basically translates to empty, sometimes translates to sky, void, vacant, or vacuum. The onyomi reading is ku, like kuko, meaning airport. Sora meaning sky, aku, aki, like empty. Akeru, too empty. That's kara, like kara and karate, meaning empty hand. Skirt, munashi, meaning empty. So to draw it, it's like a helmet, legs, and construction. So if you can imagine that story we told a while back, I don't know if you remember the last time we dealt with legs with some sort of thing on the top. Samurai had been cutting things in half, hadn't he? And he was trying to sell some legs, but instead of that cover, like the lid that he put on last time, this time he's going to put on a helmet because someone bought him and he's off to construction site. So he's been put to work, these severed legs with a construction helmet on at the construction site building stuff. But the problem is because his legs and he's not particularly effective at working, you end up with a construction site that's completely empty or void of any progress. Maybe it could be an airport, because this is the kanji also for half the kanji for airport. And it's just not being built, nothing's been done. People are looking at it going, this is vacant, this is empty. But you can see the construction hat on the top of those legs running around building stuff. One that you, just to use it in a word, 1, 2, 3, 4, kara, the kanji for te, karate. There's one we know already. Last kanji for today is the kanji for blue or green sometimes. Unripened or inexperienced. Se or sho is the onyomi reading, and aoi meaning blue is the kunyomi reading. To draw it, it looks very similar. The stroke order is a little bit different, but it looks very similar to like a lord sitting on the moon. If you can just imagine that same lord you were living with in your castle, he got fed up with it and he moved to the moon, and it's a big blue moon. That's sort of it. It's a bit sort of naff, but the shape's pretty basic and you'll see it quite a lot. A more interesting fact about this is that in Japan you'll often see like green things being referred to as blue, for example, ao shingo meaning green light. The reason for this is that long ago that this kanji, or this feeling blue, was actually not a kanji at all, it was a feeling, like something like young or budding or youthful. So you'll often see the kanji for blue being interpreted as green. It's a bit strange, but it's kind of an interesting fact and it's a cultural thing. So there you go. And that's it for today. I'll see you guys again tomorrow. Thanks for joining us and keep studying.